The best a woman can do when trying to fix her relationship is this. And I'll leave it to you to see which one's good. Midswatch, Ryan, welcome guys. This guy, Iceman Wannabe, asks about married friends. Like, hi everybody, I have a quick question. We had the closest thing to a main event that we've ever had. I don't know if it is or not, but it was a bad one. I have a pressing question, I'll go into it later at length. The marriage has been in the dumps for ages. Sex is a distant memory I haven't been close to for longer than I'd like to think about. Anyways, at the end of our latest fight, she says something that left me doubtful of my course of action. Namely, that she envied people on fucking Facebook that always posted about being married to their best friend, and that she didn't feel that she had that. I couldn't help but blurt out, that was stupid. No idea if saying that was the best, and I reacted without thinking, and then she said, let's be friends, assume I'm on the market, but only you know it. I said, I don't want to be your friend. I'm not interested in being your girlfriend. I want a wife, I want a lover, and I want sex. She got mad and said it was stupid, that she should be friends and the sex would come later. That was implied. I was like, strictly by my limited proficiency in the red pill, the whole idea sounded like a supplicant behavior request of chore play and a very convenient arrangement for her. I have to be the father, provider, and all she has to do is give me friendship with the nebulous promise of earning sex. Desire can't be negotiated, all that. Is this a legitimate cry to be gamed and courted? Like, I'm new, I don't get it, help me out here, and don't pull punches. So Jack comes in. This is funny actually, because so I'm gonna little spoiler alert for some future episodes. Jack and I have a bit of we actually didn't like each other too much. And so this is like, I think the episode or two before we started having our own little spats on here, which are stupid, but they kind of have like an underlying lesson to them. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a new Midswatch. Jack says, though, I blew my word quota for the next couple of days, so this is gonna be short. Being a father and provider doesn't get you any points. When you say this, you're saying the only value you bring to your marriage is raising your own offspring and bringing home a paycheck. Wow. No man's ever done that. A job and he raises his own kids? I have no idea how his wife's panties aren't drenched every time that direct deposit hits the bank. Snark aside, seriously, 0 points. You're just pissed because you've assumed your commitment to monogamy means robust sex life that hasn't happened. If your weeks mainly consist of going to work, parenting, watching TV, and grumbling about weekend obligations, well, start there. You're boring. You weren't boring when you met your wife, if only for the novelty of meeting somebody new, but also because you probably went to do things, took hiking trips, and went to concerts and hung out with people. The older you got, typical commitments of career, home ownership, and children eat away at all that, and now you're just a grumpy husk of your former self who feels entitled to sex with his wife. But what about her effort, right? She's not the hot, fun thing you met all those years ago either. Why do you have to put in all the effort? You don't have to do it. Not for her. I would love for my wife to say, pretend I'm single, because I would have just paused and said, okay, in my head, you want me to think you're single, so we're not married. Let me think about that for a while. Let's go to bed. And then I would have jotted it down, a couple notes for my future, made a notebook, turned out the lights, passed out. Assumes she's single? Well, by that definition, gotta assume I'm single too. Which is actually what your wife wants. She said, with the typical female solipsism, that's no stranger to the red pill, and it probably didn't occur to her that this will mean stepping up her game as well, but it will. Because now, you're gonna figure out how to start putting those building blocks of your life you had back when you were single and desirable. It's not gonna be one-to-one, but you cut out the boring TV time after your kids are in bed. Watch the TV shows you like with your wife, let her watch the ones you don't by herself. Do you normally watch bad TV shows you don't like with your friends? No. Your wife might start perceiving some distance, she might get whiny or annoying or anxious and then even say, this isn't what I meant, but see, part of your map should involve play. Playing sports, woodworking, playing happy hour with your buddies. Your wife is asking to be friends and assume you're single is her saying, remember when we used to play together. Because a life with some play and recreation makes it very easy to blur the lines of sexuality in the marriage between sex and intimacy, because what is sex if not play?
So the memes, they're very good. This is really, they've taken it.
True Alpha.
Named Ryan Stone.
This says, I asked Murphy about the article he wrote, cuckolding his wife. Clear up the cuck article. Clear up the cuck article.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
If I wasn't prepared
to literally impoverish his entire bloodline.
I am now concerned for my career.
And I'm still
Just to
recommending
clear up the cuck article.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
You know what? Fuck you for bringing this up. Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
I'm not going to have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
Just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
It is just...
That's great. That's you should.
Fuck you.
Sorry, apologies.
Just keep going, dude. One foot in front of the other. Before you know it, this will all be in the rearview mirror. Fuck you.
She's tired of feeling like sex is some discrete, scheduled block of time she needs to commit, lest you start whining about the sex you're owed because of your paycheck. Framed it like that, maybe her suggestion doesn't sound so shitty. So, when she starts getting upset and anxious, maybe in a shit test, but it's probably just what I call a shitty comfort test, she wants to play with you, but you seem to be just playing on your own and she's jealous. You can snark about, how about those apples, bitch? Or you can tell her to meet you at 9 on Friday at the bar. Somebody's already babysitting the kids and you'll hang and you'll go play with her. Go to the gym after work, hit vanity muscles, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he's describing just like a basic date after this, so I'm gonna skip all that. Now it's phrased as a simple set of steps, but there's several assumptions here. If you don't have the financial or logistical means to afford to going out on a drink and arrange some babysitting, then no wonder your wife isn't fucking you. Your life isn't just boring, it's boring and stressful. It's very easy to turn money into improvement and play. You get the latter and you don't need to whine about how your paycheck makes you entitled to anything because you're spending it on what you want. You're single, remember? And all this shit about Facebook, marrying your best friend, blah, blah, blah. It's only fucking annoying if you take it literally, because any photo you see always has that couple in a tropical waterfall, or salsa dancing, or enjoying a fucking picnic, and it's all contrived, but all those things are at least playing. There's probably some early date with your wife back when she was your girlfriend where you went to go see a movie, but it was sold out, so you had 3 hours to kill. So you drove to somewhere and did some random thing and it was fun, blah, blah, blah. Then you watched a movie that weekend and had sex. But seriously though, all of those Facebook posts, man, it's not about waterfalls and picnics, it's about playing. And whatever you want. She used to like playing with you. She can't imagine it's that hard for her not to like playing with you again. So what he's getting at here is, I've talked about in a previous episode, separating sex from intimacy. And that's kind of what we're getting at here. The idea, and you've heard it before, guys like Rolo saying you should always be gaming your wife, or that you're not gaming your wife, but you are the game. And those two concepts here, it's in a very, very rudimentary way what he's getting at. The idea is, when you think of sex as a discrete activity, your wife will think about it like a chore. So the idea is you're always intimate. All the stuff you do when you want to get laid, just do that all the time. Have that as your constant on state. Smack your wife on the ass, give her a kiss out of nowhere. Tease her mercilessly. Make her cry one day and then make her laugh the next. Buy her flowers and then yell at her for picking them up. Whatever. Push and pull. Have some fun with it. Enjoy fucking with her. Whatever. And then every now and again, mood strikes. Just follow through. And that's kind of what they're getting at here. And it was funny because I don't think it was the first post that got us there, but it was like one of them. And all the idea was just a wife saying, pretend you were single and let's pretend to be friends. Women don't know what they're doing. And this, like, the one example here that's funny is like, that's how a woman processes the idea of separating sex and intimacy when you put it through their solipsistic filter. Absolutely horrid advice. Pretend like we're friends, pretend we're single, but nobody else knows. And the guy's like, I don't understand that, it makes no sense. But as a guy, separating sex from intimacy makes perfect sense. You know, be friendly and charming for other women, induce a little bit of jealousy, do a little bit of catch and release. Have fun, play around with your wife, tease her a bunch, smack her on the ass, treat her like a piece of meat. Take showers together. Sometimes you follow through and want to sleep together afterwards, sometimes you don't. Whatever. And it's once you internalize all these things as your regular way of being, it's not that you're gaming your wife, it's not that you're wasting all this time dating somebody you've been dating for 20 years, it's just that you're the charming, fun guy. When you go out, other girls are flirtatious with you. It makes your wife jealous. She's more inclined to want to keep you around with the only way she knows how to keep you loyal. Sometimes you play around with her and then you follow through on there. You literally become the game. And I wish I could explain it in a way that makes perfect sense to everybody. This is like one of our rudimentary attempts to get there. And it really has advanced since then. I'm kind of glad it's gotten to where it's gotten. And the one thing I actually am kind of weird about these mids watches is that when I describe a mids watch field report, it seems like, dude, I could fix this so much easier with the stuff I've put into Praxeology Volume 2 or some of the more recent stuff that we've had, like in our Patreon and that. But I'm like, no, I think it's better that we get to see it back when it was like the elementary school 101 level of stuff. It was always messy. There was no roadmap and people didn't know what they're doing. We had to figure it out as we went, because I think a lot of guys forget that it's not a paint by numbers book. It's literally a bunch of guys swapping notes because we have no idea what we're doing. And the best way to figure it out is to try everything and then write down the stuff that works and then try it again.